Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Friday, March 1st, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with a major update on Kazuchika Okada. Fightful Select is reporting that the former 7-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion is officially headed for All Elite Wrestling. Okada is reportedly expected to debut on the next episode of AEW Dynamite on March 6th. His contract with New Japan officially expired at the end of January, but he finished up several dates with the company afterward, having the final match of his nearly 17-year run last Saturday at New Beginning in Sapporo. In ratings news, Wednesday's edition of Dynamite brought in an audience of 822,000 at TBS, according to WrestleNomics. That's slightly down from last week's total audience of 828,000. The rating in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic held steady from last week, coming in again at 0.29. Ring of Honor streamed last night on Honor Club, featuring matches taped last Saturday at the Great Southern Bank Arena in Springfield, Missouri. In the main event, Johnny TV defeated Dalton Castle for custody of Castle's boys. In quarterfinal matches for the ROH Women's World TV title, Queen Aminata defeated Taya Valkyrie, and Red Velvet beat Layla Hirsch. In a four-way tag team match, the Infantry bested the Spanish Announce Project, the Workhorsemen, and the team of Gringo Loco and Jack Cartwheel. In other results, Lee Johnson defeated Matt Sydal, Commander beat Blake Christian, Taiji Ishimori topped Jacoby Watts, and Abaddon went over Judy Azul. TNA Wrestling presented Impact last night on Access TV and the TNA Plus app, featuring matches taped last Saturday at the Hilario Center in West Wego, Louisiana. In the main event, the System defeated Eric Young, Ace Austin, and Chris Bay. Tasha Steelz and Xia Brookside wrestled to a no contest, after which Knockouts World Champion Jordynne Grace announced she'd be defending her title against both next week at Sacrifice. During an X Division Championship ceremony segment, Chris Sabin attacked Mustafa Ali, but was beaten down by the Good Hands until Kushida and Kevin Knight made the save. In other results, AJ Francis and Diener beat Joe Hendry and Rich Swann. Jake Something defeated the Laredo Kid, and in the opener, Steve Macklin defeated Speedball Mike Bailey. Following the match, Nick Nemeth appeared on screen and announced he'd be defending the IWGP Global Championship against Macklin at Sacrifice. And finally, in injury news, New Japan president and top competitor Hiroshi Tanahashi is dealing with an ankle injury, according to an official announcement made yesterday. Tanahashi is no longer scheduled to work the April 6 Sakura Genesis event, and has also been pulled from the New Japan Cup Tournament Series. His IWGP Global Championship match with Nick Nemeth has been delayed until further notice. Tanahashi sustained the injury at New Beginning in Sapporo last month. The injury sustained by El Hijo del Vikingo has been diagnosed as a torn meniscus and ruptured ligament in his knee, according to a statement put out by Vikingo yesterday. The AAA Mega Champion also indicated that he went in for surgery on his knee yesterday. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.